Good morning, CSL family. Good morning. Let's all stand up and do our opening song, which is Spirit is in this place. And happy Mother's Day. Come on, let's got some energy in the room. Come on. Yeah, like that. We have come together as a family. We have come here as we are. We have come with arms wide open. We have gathered here in love. Here we go. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the room and shout some praise. Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Spirit is in this, Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof and shout some praise. Spirit is in this place. Raise the roof and shout some praise. Spirit is in this place.
Good morning, CSL. Welcome to the Fort Lauderdale Center for Spiritual Living, better known as Science of Mind. My name is Eric Shelley. I am your presider and a licensed prayer practitioner here at our center. Happy Mother's Day, everyone, attending both in person and online. I would like to acknowledge any mother or anyone assuming that role, including my own loving mother in the rear of the sanctuary, to please stand or raise your hand for recognition. If you are unable to join us in person, there are 3 ways you can connect to our spiritual community online, and they are as follows: Facebook, YouTube, and our website, cslftl.org. Just hit the live stream tab. We welcome all of our first-time guests. We are sincerely grateful and honored for your presence and for your decision to spend your morning right here with us as we celebrate Mother's Day today. We have many exciting things happening here at CSL Fort Lauderdale, and here is just a highlight of some of those events. First, Spiritual Activism, a 4-week class taught by Reverend Dr. Cynthia Ramirez Lindemeyer, starts Monday, June 9th at 6:30. Please join us on our exploration of the transformative power of sacred activism at the intersection of various critical issues, including environmental stewardship, political engagement, racial equality, LGBTQ+ rights, age diversity, mental health advocacy, or simply whatever breaks your heart. In this sacred space, we will excavate the mystical truths concealed within our collective ability to catalyze profound change. Through the lens of new thought, we navigate the delicate balance between action and consciousness, harmonizing the outward manifestation of our efforts with the inner sanctum of our awareness. I would ask Reverend Cynthia to stand for recognition, but she is currently out of town. Next, Full Moon Beach Vibe Tribe meditation this Monday, May 12th at 8 to 9:30 p.m. at the Anu Tura Yoga Shala in the heart of Fort Lauderdale. This event has been moved indoors due to the 80 to 95% chance of thunderstorms tomorrow. The Vibe Tribe will be back in the sand next month, weather permitting. Practitioner Carl Gustafson organizes this community fellowship, meditation, and sound bath-based gathering. Carl, if you're in the house, please stand for recognition. Next, Grow, Gentlemen Realizing Our Wisdom, led by Carl Gustafson. CSL's monthly men's group meets this Tuesday, 6:30 to 8 in the Youth Center. Carl, if you would please stand again for recognition. Next, we are taking a more active role in doing our part to recycle at CSL. You will notice the blue trash cans for your bottles, cans, and cardboard. Please support us with this and honor the specific bins. Next, Mother's Day bake sale and flower sale. All purchases will go directly to the Youth Center. Come and grab some tasty items and beautiful flowers, sure to enhance your celebration on this day. Lastly, book sale. Come and check out the books in the lobby on various subjects of health, well-being, spirituality, inspiration, and motivation. All proceeds go to support the Wisdom Circle group. For more information on these events, please see guest services out in the lobby after the service, and/or visit our website, app, Facebook, or Instagram pages. If you truly like what you see here, please consider sharing the wealth of knowledge and information with others. Here at CSL, we have an intention statement that says who we are and how we want to show up and be present in the world. So please, join me in standing, and we'll say it together. Afterward, please greet your neighbor with a hello, a handshake, a fist bump, a hug, or a namaste. So CSL, who are we? A diverse spiritual community dedicated to personal growth, healing, and service.
So I just invite us to turn within in this moment. Let's close the eyes. To allow the inner eye of awareness to open, to stretch. Feeling fully present in this moment, in this space, in this room, as we have connected with other individuals, as we have heard the tone that's called us back to ourselves. Recognizing that there is only this one ever expanding, infinite intelligence, universal mind in which we live, move, and have our beingness. That we are one. We are one from this space of knowing our absolute power and love and oneness and joy that is right in the midst of us and is reflected all around us in this community and outside of this community. There is only this one presence, living so wonderfully, uniquely, and individually as each and every one of us. And so how wonderful it is just to come on here in this day, to stay in this space, to activate, to remember, to recognize, and to realize the power, the potential, and the opportunity that's present in our life to be love. That is what we call forth through this community gathering today. That is what is activated as each of us have said yes to being here and participating in all that unfolds. I just say thank you, Lord. Thank you, Spirit. Thank you, God. Thank you, universe. Thank you, the Divine Mother, the Divine Father, the all that there is. And so it is.
Once again, good morning, CSL family. In honor of Mother's Day, I chose one of my favorite songs by a wonderful artist by the name of Regina Bell, and it's sung from the perspective of a mother singing to her child. And it just so happens that our wonderful guest vocalist today, Miss Christina Gilbert, happens to be a mom. So that's a wonderful thing, and it just kind of worked out that way. So please make welcome our guest vocalist today, the wonderful Miss Christina Gilbert.
If I could, I'd protect you from the sadness in your eyes, give you courage in a world of compromise. Yes, I would, if I could. I would teach you all the things I've never learned, and I'd help you cross the bridges that I've burned. Yes, I would, if I could. I would try to shield your innocence from time. But the part of life I gave you isn't mine. I'll watch you grow so I can let you go. If I could, I would help you make it through the hungry years. But I know that I can never cry your tears. But I would if I could. You don't have to walk along this road with me. My yesterday won't have to be your way. If I I try to change the world I brought you to. Now there isn't much more that I can do, but I would if I could. If I could, I would try to shield your innocence from time. But the part of life I gave you isn't mine. I'll watch you grow so I can let you go. If I could, I would help you make it through. But I know I can never cry your tears, babe. But I would. If I could. If I
Well, I'm glad she's the first to cry because, there's a little bit of joy and a little bit of sadness in my talk, so join me on this journey. Good day, happy Mother's Day. My name is Drew Eric Miller, and my pronouns are he, him, and I'm a licensed practitioner here at CSL. The Center for Spiritual Living Fort Lauderdale is guided by 7 core values, and they are love, healing, oneness, abundance, spiritual growth, service, diversity. Oh, that was it. Each week we highlight one of the values and to keep it fresh in our minds. And this week's healing is okay, you got that. So again, this is healing. So, in order to have healing, you have a little sadness. So there's a little bit of that in here too. This is my 1-year anniversary. Last Mother's Day was my first core value. I'm very excited to be back. Thank you. My mom, Carolyn, created a loving home for my brothers and I. And she did it consciously, like we teach here at CSL. Mom chose to shower us with love in every way. She made us feel safe, seen, and valued. Jerry, the photo? I remember one Christmas, Mom answered an ad in the newspaper. Another mother was selling her older son's entire G.I. Joe collection and at an amazing low price. Since funds were tight for a single mom raising 3 boys, this was a real opportunity. Being a snoop, I accidentally found my Christmas surprise, and my brothers shared with me how Mom had purchased the gifts. Even at my young age, I understood the effort and the cost and the love that went into the surprise. I never told my mom I found the gifts that Christmas morning, and it was a huge surprise. Where my mother consciously loved, my father lacked the same loving consciousness. The following year, my father took us 3 boys from my mom to raise us in his house. What I know now and what I've learned is that in order to embody a healthy home, you need three things. You need to feel safe, you need to feel loved, and you need to feel seen and valued. My father and stepmother's home didn't embody those qualities. Needless to say, he didn't put the same efforts into Christmas either. Eventually, us three boys were able to move out, release the trauma, and start a life. As an adult, I found love and began dating my future husband. However, our new love was suddenly interrupted. Just days before our second Christmas together, my mom entered the hospital with congestive heart failure. It happened so fast. On Christmas Eve, the doctors said they found no brain activity. The following day, Christmas, the three boys and our spouses gathered at her bedside to release her body. 2 more minutes. We can handle this together. Some of you know I spent the last 20 years, let me just do it again. As some of you know, I spent 20 years with my husband. While we enjoyed times and shared a good life, Christmas continued to be problematic for me. Because remember, a healthy home embodies three things. We need to feel safe, we need to feel loved, and we need to feel seen and valued. Ernest Holmes says, "You cannot heal anyone of their trouble if it is the result of some mental attitude which they will not surrender." 10 years ago, I chose to surrender my troubled marriage. I chose healing. I desired to create a healthy home and leave my troubles in the past. Good news, no more trauma. We're rounding the corner. Today I'm in a loving relationship again, and we have shared 4 Christmases with no surprise. Jerry, the photo? Last Christmas, we chose to travel to the island of Curacao on December 26th. That was a surprise. We decided not to exchange gifts in lieu of the holiday vacation. This worried me a little bit. How will I feel on Christmas Day with the decades of trauma? When the sun set on Christmas, I realized I got my wish. What I'd always asked for, a healing, a home filled with love, a home where I feel safe, a home where I feel seen and valued. Healing is our core value. Choose healing. Happy Mother's Day.
Rolling river God, little stones are smooth. Only once the water passes through. So I am a stone, rough and grainy still, trying to reconcile this river's chill. But when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when when that sunset comes, my prayer would be just one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Sometimes raging wild, sometimes swollen high. Never have I known this river dry. The deepest part of you is where I want to stay and feel the sharpest edges wash away. And when I close my eyes and feel you rushing by, I know that time brings change, and change takes time. And when that sunset comes, my prayer would be just one, that you might pick me up and notice that I am just a little smoother in your hand. Rolling river God, little stones are smooth. Only once the water passes through.
Buddy, I'm Reverend Tina, your senior minister. Good afternoon. Hello, everybody. This has been an emotional ride already. I have a teacher, Reverend Joanne, who always spoke of that when anyone ever cried in a class that she taught, she would thank them. Thank you for bringing the water. Thank you for opening the space for healing to happen. Thank you, Drew. Thank you, Christina. By our ability to be transparent and vulnerable and present to the moment and what we're feeling, we invite others to do the same. That's how we join in on this healing train. So beautiful, beautiful to witness. So last week, for those who are here or those who weren't, no worries, my talk was called The Force Is You. And talking about the Force as it was explained through Star Wars, that it's an energy field, right? It's that which connects everything, an all-encompassing power. I quoted Divine Matrix, the book Divine Matrix by Greg Braden, who calls it a divine matrix and says it's the container that holds the universe, this force, right? The bridge between all things and the mirror that shows us what we have created. And as I was researching for my talk on the force and looking at the science of mind, the very thing that the science mind calls the force is the law. In dealing with mind, we are dealing with a force we cannot fool. That's what Ernest Holmes says in The Science of Mind. The law that we are discussing is simply a law of nature, a force of nature. It happens to be a mental force and an intelligent and creative one. Law is mind in action. It's the creative medium of spirit. It is the great law of the universe. So that's just a wonderful opening to my talk today. My talk today is called Perfectly Lawful. I have a little image so you know what I'm saying. Perfectly lawful. that we live in a world that is perfectly lawful. We teach here through science of mind that there are universal principles and universal laws, and that we get to come into harmony with it, and we get to create our life from this awareness and feel into the knowingness of our individual and collective power. So perfectly lawful, you know I like words and playing around with words, right? So it is the complete opposite of this other phrase, perfectly awful. So perfectly awful is a common idiom. It is expressing a way to exaggerate the negative, right? Of something that is really bad, really unpleasant. To put perfectly in front of awful creates this badness as complete and unyielding. And awful, obviously, just being completely bad, unpleasant. Expresses just a strong disapproval. Perfectly awful. So we can live our lives in one of two ways. We can look out into the world and we can see that it's perfectly lawful, or we can look out into the world and call it perfectly awful. We have the freedom to choose that. That is our ability. That is our free will. But we will get back what we put into this law. It's perfect. The law is also called a blind force. We put into it, and it brings back to us what we've put into it. So before I came up with perfectly lawful and perfectly awful, I was going to call my talk Law and Order SVU, but there was copyright infringements for that. But what I loved about it is Law and Order. What's that sound it makes? Dun dun, dun dun, right? I don't even really watch the show, but it's been around for so long that I'm aware of it. I've seen parodies about it. I've seen little parts of episodes. But it speaks that title is that there's law and order present in our life. Everything is in order. Everything is in order, or nothing is in order. That is the only way in which we can look at life. It can't be sometimes in order. It is always in order. That is the absolute truth. That is the principle itself. So order is my main principle. That's where I go to. When I can't see through my condition, I can't see the truth in my experience, I take a breath and I know order is here. I may not understand it, but it's here. And I choose to recognize it. I choose to claim it. I choose to call it. I choose to name it. And I soften into that. So Law and Order SVU. SVU in the show stands for Special Victims Unit. Well, we can live our life through this lens, through this awareness, through this beingness that I am a victim to my experiences. Then I'm just living in that perfectly awful world, right? Or we can change Law and Order SVU to be Spiritual Visionaries Unit. Spiritual Visionaries Unit. That is who we are. We get to see what is true in this world. That's right. We get to see what is true. We get to hold the vision. And that's one aspect of using this law. One of the names of the one law, right? The different names that we have for law of attraction. So we, in law of attraction, can hold in our mind's eye that which we see. We are spiritual visionaries. Spiritual Visionary Unit, or Spiritual Visionaries Unite. Let's come together. Let's change this experience of this world. We don't like it. We think it's perfectly awful. Well, what are we doing about it? I'm pretty sure Reverend Cynthia is going to go into that next week, where she's presenting a talk on sacred activism, which is going to prelude her class on sacred activism. We get to do that. So the creative process, we talk a lot about that in Science of Mind. And the really simple, easy way to explain it is soil plant. We have a seed of that which we want to grow. We plant it in the soil, and it produces, it demonstrates as a plant, as a vegetable, as a tree, as whatever it is we plant. That is that creative medium that I was talking about. So thought goes into law and creates a demonstration. We are not victim to this life. We are at root cause. We are co-creators in this life. We get to participate. We get to activate. This comes right out of the Science of Mind book, which we read for our first week in our class that we're teaching, and I love this. I had never read it, or it never landed in this way. Science of Mind is not a get-rich-quick scheme, and neither does it promise something for nothing. This works if we work it. We have to put in our spiritual and mental coin. We pay the price of creating our life with our attention, with our focus, with our healing, with our discovering our beliefs and our opinions and our judgments and that which is limiting us. Ernest Holmes goes on to say that if we comply with the law complies with us. Now, the law is always active, but let's let him break it down a bit. No one can demonstrate peace and cling to unhappiness. No one can jump in the water and remain dry. No person whose entire time is spent in contemplation of limitation can demonstrate freedom from this limitation. It's that simple. And yes, it requires work, attention, practice. We are all practitioners, whether we're licensed or not, doesn't matter. Are we practicing these principles? Are we practicing this law? With this awareness, we know we can change our life. We can move from limitation to freedom and say, not us, not here, not now. We are free. So I spoke the one name, right? So the many names to the law. There's an infinite number of names. We know the law of attraction, the law of polarity. Each of these descriptive words explains another dimension of the way in which this law works. The law of cause and effect, the law of correspondence, the law of emergence, the law of reflection, the law of subjectivity, the law of mental equivalence, the law of freedom, the law of gravity, the law of action, the law of vibration, the law of divine oneness, the law of compensation. What we put out, we get compensated for. The law of rhythm. Many names to name the one law. Many expressions to define the grandness of this thing that is the law. There's no limit to law. There's only the limit to our understanding of it. We limit our ability to demonstrate because we don't have the mental equivalence of that which we desire. For the law of correspondence to work, it starts with a belief before it can ever manifest as a thing. We provide the mold for the creative law. And we can demonstrate at our level of knowing. And our ability are only at our ability to know. And we cannot go beyond that. But that's not a limitation. I know it sounds like a limitation. It's not a limitation because we are growing, we are expanding. We are here in this world to grow in our knowingness, to grow in our understanding. And as we know more, we demonstrate more. At all times, we are drawing either that to us, which we want, or pushing something away from us. Whether we focus on what we want or what we don't want, the law says yes. So we've talked about Mother's Day already. So many people have acknowledged mothers in the house. This idea this notion, this reality with a capital R, that there is this thing called divine motherhood. And that it represents itself in life as unconditional love, compassion, and a nurturing energy. We've all had different experiences. We've all had different mothers. Some may be grieving the loss of their mother here right now. Some may had a wonderful experience with their mothers. Some may have a difficult experience with their mothers. Some may be dealing with a level of disease with their mothers, some level of dementia, feeling like that individual is possibly lost before they've even transitioned to the other side. There's many dynamics to what this day may bring up for each of us and all of us. But what I know is all is love and all is law. That we came through this very thing. We came through that individual who birthed us into existence. They gave us life. Regardless, and I am so compassionate here, and I don't want to sound uncompassionate. Regardless of our experiences, we were given the gift already. They may have been only capable of just being that vessel that birthed you here. And let's be grateful for that. Let's come into the awareness of how good that is to be here, to have this opportunity. And if we didn't have the mother we wanted, we get to show up as this divine mother. We know what it feels like. So we get to be compassionate. We get to have a nurturing energy and be unconditionally loving. If we look out into the world today, we can see that many, if not all of us, could use this divine mother represented and expressing through each of us as we walk through our experiences in life. I didn't have the greatest relationship with my mother growing up, but as I've moved through these teachings, I was able to be grateful for what we did have, for the direction that it sent me on my path, for my own discovery. Right? We get to be the detectives in our own life. Back to Laura and Orders SVU, we get to uncover, we get to discover, we get to look at the case that is our life and understand it and allow it to teach us. I was able to reach a point in my life with my mother where I worked through the forgiveness process. And we all have our own time on that path. I was able to come to my mom and say, I know you did the best you could. And my gift to you is seeing the truth of who you are and letting go of those stories. Letting go of anything that limits my view of what is the truth of another individual. Forgiveness works. It goes into the law. It frees us up from the inside out and creates these deeper, more powerful, loving, expressive relationships in our life because we change. We let go of that perfectly awful idea and know that I have the power, we have the power to be that mothering presence for ourselves, to be that space that maybe wasn't given, or to continue to highlight and activate all that your mother did give you. I had a full weekend. It's been good. It's been really, really good. We had our board retreat on Saturday. And to me, it's no coincidence that it's the day before Mother's Day. We came together as a new board. We came to connect, to work in consciousness for a new beginning, a new start, as we are birthing this community once again, and that we are the midwives of this wonderful expression. That we get to let go of old ideas, past experiences, old relationships, anything that didn't work, and know that we're starting again. We're starting new. We get to continue as leaders in this community and in our individual lives, ask, what am I birthing into existence? What am I putting into law? What am I called to nurture as a divine idea? So I had that on Saturday. On Friday was my last day at my restaurant job. Yeah. It was bittersweet. I was grateful to let it go. I knew it was time. I knew my attention and my focus gets to be here completely, without distraction. But it's an identity that I've had for, not to date myself, but 32 years I've worked in the service industry. It's part of who I am. I know this is another level of service. But I love the aspect of service. I love the family that are friends that I've made for the 6 years that I worked at this particular location. I love, even still, I kind of made a joke to some people. I was like, yeah, I think I've aged out of this job because they're hiring younger and younger people. And I'm like, I don't know if I can relate to these people, but I can, and I wanted to. And I discovered something wonderful about all of us. We're all the same. We all want the same things. We may speak a little different. We may act a little different. But once I got to know these younger individuals, I was in joy of being in their presence. Just a little lighter note about the law. It's going with an individual that I work with. She's probably a Gen Zer, beautiful blonde. She posted something on a story about attraction, and of course, me was like, well, let me teach her a little on attraction, you know? And I said, oh, here's a little caveat that they don't tell you when you think about attraction, is that you attract who you are. And then so she quickly came back and was like, all right, well, how do I attract a really rich man who's loyal and I don't have to work? And I said, huh. The feminist in me was like, oh my God. No! The spiritual teacher in me was like, teach her about the law. It's my job to tell her what she wants and desires and what she's trying to attract in her life. It's my job to let her know how this thing works. And I said, again, this level of attraction, you have to become that. Are you loyal to yourself? Do you have value in who you are and who you be in this world? Do you see the wealth that you already have that's not outside of yourself? It is the work of becoming the thing itself. That which I want to attract, I must become. And it opened up a greater conversation. And I'm grateful to just be there and let them know, right? Because again, she can still attract that. But what she's doing is growing in our own being, growing in our own authority, growing in her own awareness. I found this quote that was perfect, and I also sent it to her, and I said, when you chase butterflies, they fly away from you. But when you build an amazing garden, they will come to you. We live in a perfectly lawful universe. Let us become the thing itself. And so it is. let's just take one moment in the stillness, 1 minute in the stillness, actually.
Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day.
God is all around me.
Every day, every day, every day, every day.
God is all around me.
In and through me. As me. In and through me. As me. God is all around me.
Just taking a moment in the stillness, in the silence, contacting that universal force, that power space right in the center of us. If you must drop from your mind, drop into the middle of your being. Bring it into the body. Feel there fully and completely. The responsibility of setting this law in motion is ours. But the responsibility of making it work is inherent to the nature of what law is itself.
Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day. Every day, every day, every day, every day.
God is all around me.
Every day, every day, every day, every day.
God is all around me.
I'm so thankful. And so it is. And I'm thankful. And so it is. God is all around me.
And so it is.
Oh, 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 God. From the day we arrive on the planet, blinking stepped into the sun. There's more to be seen than can ever be seen, more to do than can ever be done. Some say eat or be eaten. Some say live and let live. But all are agreed as they join the stampede. We should never take more than we give in the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's the leap of faith. It's the band of hope. Till we find our place on the path unwinding, yeah. In the circle of life. Some of us fall by the wayside, and some of us soar to the stars. And some of us sail through our troubles, and some have to live with the scars. There's far too much to take in here, more to find than can ever be found. But the sun rolling high through the sapphire sky keeps great and small on the endless round in the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune. It's the leap of faith. It's the band of hope. Till we find our place on the path unwinding, yeah. In the circle of life. It's the wheel of fortune, yeah. It's the leap of faith. It's the band of hope. Till we find our place on the path unwinding, yeah. In the circle of life. On the path unwinding, yeah. In the circle the circle of life.
All right, all right. Do we have any first-time guests here? Anyone here for the first time that wants us to know that they are? Hello, back there. Welcome, welcome. There is going to be a mic given to you. Just your name.
Oh,
What's your
Edison.
name?
My name is Edison.
Hi, Edison. Thank you for joining us. There's
Thank
a
you.
gift and a card for you can fill out so you can get in the know of all things that are happening here, get on our list. Where are you joining from? You live here?
Yes, I am from Wilton Manors.
Wilton Manors, all right.
Yes,
Thank you for
yes.
being here. Thank you.
It's great. It's awesome.
Javon,
Hi.
from North Lauderdale.
Hi, Javon. North Florida, you said? Welcome.
North Lauderdale.
Thank you for being here. Thank you so much for checking us out. Anyone online that's checking us out for the first time, thank you so much. All of those who continue to watch us online, thank you for being a beautiful presence in our virtual world, our virtual community, a community that was without borders, right? Hello to the Duprees and Martin, Tiffany and Lionel. Hello, happy Mother's Day, Tiffany. Hello, Katie and her mom. Yes, one more.
God bless all. My name is Diana, and I'm from Tamarack. This is my sister, Rebecca.
Oh, hello. Hello, Diana from Tamarack. Thank you so much. Please receive a gift from us. So this is our time to participate in the law of circulation, that we get to give, where we're spiritually fed. We get to invest. We get to put our energy, our time, our talents, our love, and yes, our money into the spiritual community so we can continue to keep our doors open. We continue to be this space of love, be this divine motherhood for all those that are seeking healing and all those who are seeking growth and transformation. So just want to thank our TPL members. The list is coming up. Those are people who give to us on a monthly basis. If you're interested in TPL, you can just go to the guest services. And for individuals who are in here in person or online, we do have a QR code that'll show up, and that will give you an opportunity to give that way as well. And we also have text to give. So thank you so much for your giving in advance.
There was a time in my life I thought I'd have to do it all for myself. I didn't know the grace of God was sufficient, and I didn't know the love of God was at hand. But now I can say, if you're discouraged, struggling just to make it through another day, you gotta let it go, let it all go. And this is what you have to say: I release and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for God. No more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God. I release and I let go.
Come on.
I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here for no more struggle, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith I see the light. I am free Yes, I'm only here for God. I release, come on, and I let go. I let the Spirit run my life, and my heart is open wide. Yes, I'm only here. Say no more, no more, no more, no more struggle, no more strife. With my faith, I see the light. I am free in the Spirit. Yes, I'm only here for God.
Thank you, thank you. Thank you, music ministry, Hal and Alejandro, Christina, and Antonio, always circulating that truth and harmony for us to move and groove to. So thank you. Thank you very much. I receive this gift. I receive that which you have put forth into the law. I know that it activates in your life. I know that it's filled to overflowing. As you give, you receive more, more, more. That you open yourself up to be this beautiful vessel for this divine abundance and prosperity to flow through, that you are the agent of change with your giving. And I know that this change makes a mighty difference here. I am thankful, I am grateful, and so it is. So if you just lend me just a few more moments of your time, because it is our birthday week. So any May birthdays in the house? Anyone who has a May birthday, please stand on up. Please come on up. Let's come to the stage. Let's acknowledge you. Let's sing to you. Let's celebrate your life. Let's get excited that they were born, and we are grateful.
Happy birthday to you. 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 Happy birthday.
We celebrate your life, and there are so many things that are treats outside, so we're not overindulging you with sweets and asking you to circulate this good love, this good energy, and this celebration of these individuals' lives as you go forth and you donate to our beautiful youth center and to the Wisdom Circle that is doing so much wonderful things for this community. I thank you in advance for that. So I invite all the practitioners and ministers. Oh, you guys could have just stayed up on stage. Carl and Reverend Hoffman, come on up, come on up. These are the healing arms, the healing consciousness of this center. These are the individuals. We had our first prac meeting last week since I became senior minister, and I have continued and will continue to ask to put the charge of holding the high watch and the consciousness of this ever-expanding community to these wonderful, magnificent practitioners. I invite you to see them after service for a prayer. Join us next week. We'll be here same time, same place. Reverend Cynthia will be delivering a wonderful message, Sacred Activism, you being you, you being you. I will be on spiritual retreat, so I can too receive, so I can give more. And I thank in advance Reverend Cynthia for her willingness, her consciousness, and her healing presence for all of you. Ooh, JC, will you pray us out?
All right, invite everybody to close your eyes. Let's take a deep breath together. Just giving thanks for this day, giving thanks for the service, giving thanks for all the mothers, giving thanks for the message, giving thanks for the music, giving thanks for all that's been given, giving thanks for all that's been received, knowing this community is a blessing to each of us and to all of us, and this blessing spreads out from us into the world and comes back to us, returning all the time. I'm grateful for this law that is guiding and supporting our lives and reflecting back to us what we're creating. And I know that we're creating something good here at Center for Spiritual Living Fort Lauderdale. And if you're in agreement with this truth, with this love, with this message, I invite you to say, and so it is. Amen.
Let's all stand for our final song. This is my wish. This is my wish for the world, that peace will find its way to every boy and girl. This is the time for harmony. Let love be the song that everybody sings. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah. Peace on earth. Oh, 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 yeah, yeah, yeah. Peace on earth. Fill the air with joyful noise. Ring the bells and raise your voice. Let there be peace on earth. Peace on earth. Lift your light and let it shine. Shine, shine, shine. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Let every voice be heard. Let there be peace on earth. Happy Mother's Day.
Happy Mother's Day.